Hello. In this video, we're going to talk about that frustrating situation where a student is physically in your classroom trying to do your assignment, but they were previously enrolled in a different classroom inside of GoGuardian, and somebody else's scene is applying to them, blocking them from doing your work, even though they're physically in your classroom. The way that I illustrate this is going to be from my account. So you're going to see two different classrooms that I own, but I'll try to distinguish between them as best I can. And so I'm going to tell you a little story about Test Student V. Test Student V started at the beginning of the trimester taking an independent book study class. So they're pulled into GoGuardian as part of the independent book study class. I'm going to open that session. This independent book study class is up and running, and the students in this class are not allowed to access YouTube. So this has been blocked by this scene, no social media. You can see it right here. Test Student V cannot get to YouTube. However, that was the beginning of the trimester. It is now several weeks into the trimester, and Test Student V has transferred into the GoGuardian test classroom. So they are enrolled in the GoGuardian test classroom. They're doing an assignment where they need to be able to access YouTube, and they can't get to YouTube because it is currently being blocked since they're still also in that independent book study class. We're going to give my computer a few minutes to catch up because it does take a minute, but I'm going to show you how to fix this situation. So as soon as I see it catch up, I'll come back on. Here we go. It's right there. Another teacher's scene has been applied. This may show up as a little pop-up box down in the bottom left corner. This also could actually appear as a banner right up here at the top of my screen, but it tells me another teacher's scene has been applied. So it says they applied their scene to Test Student V in their overlapping session. If you believe this is incorrect, please contact them. So it tells me the teacher, in this case, it's both of them or me, but it'll tell you which teacher's scene is applied. And then you're able right here to go in and manually remove their scene from your student. So I'm just going to go ahead and manually remove it. It'll take just a minute. And now they have access to YouTube. They can get in right away, get done what they need to. And that teacher of the other class, again, it may take a minute to catch up, but they're also going to get a notification here that says, hey, Mackenzie Fuller removed your scene from Test Student V. That teacher can go, oh my goodness, I didn't realize Test Student V was still in my class. I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to remove them from my class. And so then it doesn't happen again. But now, oh, there we go. I think it disappeared. I went too fast. It's been overridden. So that was the pop-up down here in the bottom corner. I'm going to come back to my GoGuardian test class. I can see my Test Student V, and again, they are able to access whatever I need them to access. Okay, one important thing to keep in mind as you're watching this is that you don't have to have a live session up and running to be able to override somebody else's scene, in the sense that you could still do this even if you didn't have a session running at the beginning of class. So what I mean by that is this: if you are not a huge user of GoGuardian, like it's not your favorite and it drives you crazy when somebody else's scene affects your kids, but you don't use it, you're at the mercy of those other teachers, and you're gonna have to call them or text them or send them an email and say, hey, can you take Joey out of your classroom? He's now in my classroom in GoGuardian. What you could do is you could go in at the beginning of the trimester or anytime in the school year. You could come into GoGuardian to your classrooms. You could import your Google Classrooms, you set up your classes, and then don't start a live session. But if you run into that situation and you go, oh my goodness, Joey can't get to YouTube, open up GoGuardian, manually start a live session, and then wait for that little yellow box to appear, the text box in the bottom of the corner, override the scene, and then you can close it out and you can be totally done with it. I love this platform. I think it does a lot of great things, but I understand that it's not the right fit for everyone. If you're one of those people and you just want to be able to override other people's scenes when they conflict with what you're doing in your classroom, that is a good option for you. Please be sure to set up your classrooms ahead of time so that you don't leave yourself at the mercy of somebody else responding to a phone call or a text or an email.